So today I'm going to upgrade my YXZ's stock plugs for NGK iridium. There's a part number. As you can see, these come in a 4-pack. If you buy them individually, buying 3 individual spark plugs is the same price as buying a 4-pack. So figured just have an extra spare on hand. I like to do this after the vehicle's been sitting overnight, so everything's nice and cold and reduced chance of stripping anything. If you don't have a spark plug socket, or you misplaced yours that has that rubber insert, you can just get some wiring loom. This is 1/2 inch and then 3/8. I just nested it within each other, and that'll protect your porcelain insulator when you're using this. Another trick I'll use is I have some hose here, which I'll use to, once I break it loose with the socket, I'll use this to install and remove the spark plug. So iridiums come stock on the RMAX. They don't come stock on the X2 or X4, but anyone who knows upgrades to the iridiums with excellent results. So most of my mods are going to be for a normally aspirated YXZ. I'm not saying to do this for a turbocharged application because I'm not that knowledgeable yet. So this is just for normally aspirated. I've already double checked the gap on these, and it's between 0.7 and 0.8 millimeters. So the first thing you want to do is remove your coil connectors, and mine are pretty easy to come off because this is a relatively brand new engine. Alright, and you know, you can't get these really mixed up. It's pretty obvious where each one goes, but if you think you're going to mess up the locations, you can mark them. Next, you want to remove these 10 millimeter bolts that hold the coils in. And once again, it bears repeating, YXZ is so easy to work on. My back is already thanking me for obtaining this unit from Yamaha. You see I have a moving blanket here. That's just in case I drop the spark plug and don't want to crack the insulator. Okay, so once you have those loose, give a twist, and this, I can already tell this is going to come pretty easily. Maybe not. This outer frame rail is actually the perfect fulcrum point to pull the spark plug with a line of force directly parallel to the coil and cap. So I just add it into my coated wire, and I put a zip tie on there to keep the wires close to the coil and cap body to not put extra stress on those tabs. And then just have a broomstick, and I'll use that for extra leverage. Piece of cake. So I have my coil and cap units. I've removed the end boots off, And I have a rag here that I use to remove excess tink seal from parts. And I keep this because it gets saturated with tink seal and it gets worked in from using it. I'm going to use this and I'm going to smear tink seal on these ribs. You can tell Yamaha used some sort of probably white lithium grease to lubricate these boots. And you could tell when I took it off that it had dried up. Tink seal doesn't attack rubber, and it's good for heat resistance. So I'm just going to treat these ribs here, and then I'm going to go back to the cylinder head. I'm going to smear this on the aluminum hole for the spark plugs in addition. And then I'll fold this over and I'll get the inside of the boots. And I'll take this rag, get some more tink seal on it, and I'll wipe the upper portion of that spark plug hole in the head, or the valve cover I should say. So just another tip, when you're doing this boot, you don't want to get tink seal on this portion or the upper portion here. You just want to get it on this lower portion that grabs the spark plug, because you don't want this coming off when you pull the spark plug. So you just want it on this bottom portion here. Just like that. And you can do the outside of the boot as well. It'll help prevent dirt from sticking, as well as the upper portion here on the outside. Now I'm going to take my tink seal coated rag and I'm going to get some tink seal on the upper portion of this valve cover. So I haven't even removed the old spark plugs yet. I just treated my coiling cap rubber components and the upper part of the valve cover with tink seal. I just want to show you how much easier this both goes in. Okay, so it's fully seated, and then taking it out. And actually, when you're installing it, you can twist it a little bit so this bottom portion gets on the spark plug itself. That comes out a lot easier, as well as goes in. So now I'm going to break loose my spark plugs. That was really easy. That's why you do this on a really cold engine. Yeah, that came out really easy. Or broke loose really easy, rather. that's loose, but it won't come out because I don't have a proper spark plug socket. Show you the iridium on the left versus the stock ones on the right, and it comes with a removable nut, whereas the stock ones have a permanent nut. And there's trivalent plating on these, so you don't have to coat it with anti-seize or whatnot. I will take my Tink Seal soaked rag and wipe it on the insulator just to make it easier to remove the boot. So when installing the plug, I like to take a piece of vacuum hose or silicone hose, put it in there, and then thread it by hand, and you will never cross thread a plug if you do use this method. Installing the plug on the end of my hose. Once again, the reason why I do this is because you never cross thread a spark plug using this method. And that's in there. I just have to tighten it down. So I'll do the other two and then do a final tightening. Alright. Now I just got to cinch them down. And guys, if you need to use an inch-pound torque wrench, I don't know what to tell you. You need to work on your built-in, God-given torque wrench that knows when you're stripping out something like this. So that's about it. The easy part, and that's the hard part. And if you want to twist it, just to burnish some of that Tink Seal in into porcelain surfaces, you can. Put your bolts back in. install your connectors. I don't know why this first plug gets special treatment and gets a boot, because these other ones are bare. Let's see a boot slid up on the other end. Nice thing about coil and cap, you don't have to worry about spark plug wires arcing or leaking. And that's it. That's the iridium spark plug change. Before you put all your tools away, fire her up, make sure she's running right.